Roman Reigns responds to Jon Moxley, a new chapter in WWE history. Wrestling News CC. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling News CC, your home for the biggest moments, shocking twists, and unrivaled wrestling news. Today, we dive into one of the most anticipated confrontations in wrestling history. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, has finally broken his silence, and it's shaking the very foundations of sports entertainment. But this isn't about Roman's usual rivals, nor is it about the Bloodline. This time, Roman is facing something far more personal. A ghost from his past, someone who once stood beside him as a brother, has resurfaced in a way no one expected. Jon Moxley, formerly known to us as Dean Ambrose in WWE, has stepped out of the shadows and delivered a message that left everyone, fans and wrestlers alike, on edge. And now, after months of anticipation, Roman Reigns has answered. What started as a betrayal on a Monday Night Raw, a night no one will ever forget, has exploded into something much bigger. A betrayal that echoed with haunting memories of the Shield's breakup and set in motion a chain of events leading to this powerful moment between two of wrestling's most influential figures. Roman Reigns has spoken. But why now? What has changed? And what does Jon Moxley have to say to the tribal chief? Let's rewind a bit. To understand this current situation, we need to go back to a pivotal moment in WWE history, a betrayal that has now led us to this intense and emotional moment between these two men. The betrayal that shook WWE to its core. It was a Monday Night Raw like any other, until it wasn't. The WWE Universe had been buzzing with anticipation for weeks. The long-standing tensions between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had reached a boiling point. As the night unfolded, fans found themselves at the edge of their seats, expecting the usual back-and-forth verbal jabs. But what they didn't expect was the gut-wrenching betrayal that would forever change the course of WWE history. Seth Rollins, who had once been Roman's closest ally in the Shield, turned his back on his former brother in the most brutal way possible, a steel chair shot to Roman's back. The sound of metal on flesh echoed throughout the arena, and the shockwave of that impact was felt worldwide. Roman, stunned and betrayed, collapsed to the mat, unable to comprehend what had just happened. Seth's cold eyes stared down at him as the chair fell to the ground, and for a moment, the WWE Universe was left in stunned silence. This was not just a heel turn, this was a gut punch to everything Roman had built. It was a painful reminder of the night the Shield died, and the broken bond between these once indomitable brothers. But while this moment was certainly a betrayal of Roman, it was more than that, it awakened something far bigger. A ghost from Roman's past, someone who had been watching from afar, waiting for the right moment to speak out, had been watching. That someone was Jon Moxley. The AEW bombshell. In AEW, on a regular night of action, the lights suddenly went dark. Confused fans murmured as the Titantron flickered to life, and a video began to play. It wasn't part of any match. It wasn't a hyped promo. It was unexpected, unannounced, and yet, in that moment, it became one of the most memorable moments in professional wrestling history. On the screen, sitting at a table, was Jon Moxley. He was calm. He was collected. No wild eyes. No erratic pacing. No frenetic energy that had become his trademark. Just Jon Moxley, staring directly at the camera with an intensity that sent chills down the spine of anyone watching. And then, he spoke. "I saw what happened, Joe." He didn't call him Roman. He didn't address him as the tribal chief, or even as the WWE superstar we've come to know. No, Moxley used his real name, Joe. For the first time in years, Moxley wasn't speaking to the character. He was speaking directly to the man behind the persona. And that's when everything changed. That chair. That swing. "I remember everything," Moxley continued, his tone heavy with emotion. It wasn't rage that burned in his eyes, but something deeper, pain. A quiet but undeniable truth. Then came the words that no one was prepared for. "You know I've always had your back, Joe." But I need you to remember something. Moxley leaned forward, his voice raw. I was there the night the Shield died. But you, Joe, you're not the only one who had to watch everything fall apart. I've had my share of betrayals too, and I've never forgotten them. It was an unexpected bombshell, one that shattered everything fans thought they knew about Moxley and his relationship with Roman Reigns. The silence that followed. For weeks, the wrestling world was left to wonder, what did Moxley mean by those words? What was he trying to say? And why was he addressing Roman in such a deeply personal way? The speculation was rampant. Had Moxley truly moved on from WWE and his days as Dean Ambrose? Was there still unfinished business between him and Roman, between him and the Shield? And, perhaps most importantly, was there a chance, a slim chance, that these two men could finally put aside their differences and come face to face once more? For months, the silence between Roman and Moxley was deafening. Fans waited, with bated breath, to see if Roman would respond. Would the tribal chief speak out? Would he acknowledge the past, the painful history that both men shared? Or would he continue to dominate his WWE Universe, leaving Moxley's message to hang in the air like an unresolved tension? Then, the moment came. Roman Reigns, the head of the table, finally broke his silence. Roman's response. It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when Roman's response was heard. Not on Raw, not during a scheduled segment, but in a special pre-taped video released by WWE. Roman sat in a dimly lit room, the shadows casting long lines across his face, his eyes as focused and calculating as ever. It was clear that whatever he was about to say, it wasn't just another promo. This was personal. And he wasn't speaking to his bloodline, nor to Seth Rollins, but to Moxley. "Jon," Roman began, his voice low but resolute. "I heard your message. And you're right about one thing, there are things we both remember. Things we both regret." The acknowledgement of the past, the shared history, was a powerful moment. Roman continued, his words cutting through the tension like a knife. "But you're wrong about one thing, Jon. I didn't forget. I never forgot. The betrayal, the death of the Shield, it wasn't just something that happened to me. It happened to all of us. And I'm not the one who's been hiding in the shadows all this time." Roman's eyes glinted with cold intensity. "You know, Jon, I've spent years building something here in WWE. Something that is bigger than all of us. And you're right, I've had to make sacrifices. But you ran away. You left. And now, you want to come back and pretend like you didn't turn your back on everything we fought for? You want to drag my name through the mud? No. I'm not that man anymore. And I'm not going to play by your rules, Jon. This is my table. And if you want a seat at it, you'll have to earn it." Roman's words hit like a ton of bricks. The venom in his voice, the sharpness of his delivery, it was clear that this was not a man trying to heal old wounds. No, this was a man who had built an empire, and he wasn't about to let anyone, especially someone from his past, tear it down. The future of Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley. But while Roman's response was filled with anger and defiance, it also carried an undercurrent of something deeper. There's a palpable tension in the air now. This isn't just about Roman defending his legacy, it's about Moxley returning to challenge everything Roman has built. Could this lead to an all-out confrontation between the two men? Could we finally see Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley face off in the ring once again? What will happen next in this gripping saga? One thing is for certain, the wrestling world is watching. Every word, every gesture, every move between these two icons will be scrutinized like never before. And whether they eventually meet in the ring or continue to trade barbs from afar, we know one thing for sure, this is far from over. The clash between Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley isn't just about who's the better wrestler. It's about unfinished business, broken bonds, and a legacy that both men are fighting to define. The tribal chief, the leader of the bloodline, and the rebellious Jon Moxley, their paths are inevitably going to cross again. As we sit on the edge of our seats, waiting for the next chapter to unfold, we can only wonder. What will happen when these two titans finally meet again? Will it be a battle for supremacy, for honor, or for the ultimate betrayal? Only time will tell. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Wrestling News CC to stay updated on this thrilling saga, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Will Roman and Moxley's paths cross again? And if so, how will it all go down? Let us know. Until next time, keep watching. But wait, there's so much more to discover. Click on the next video right here, shown on the screen, for more exclusive insights, reactions, and all the latest happenings in the wrestling world. You won't want to miss it. Every click helps us grow and brings you more amazing content. So please, don't leave just yet, join us for the next video and keep the wrestling conversation going. Thank you for being part of our community. Goodbye for now.